Welcome, you guys, to another episode of TJU on Air. And now, today, I have a guest that everybody knows that is somewhat famous and has been on here before. Victor, the Good Boss. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, we are on a bit of a time crunch today. So we literally have a timer set because we have tight schedules and somebody waiting on us to hopefully get off the streets and get into treatment, someone that we met together last night. So we're going to hammer out this episode as quick as we can, but get into it and learn, a little bit more about what does it take to really do this as an influencer. I say that in quotations because I don't really like being called an influencer myself. I don't dance on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we do influence people in a good way. Maybe at the end of the day, we are actually what an influencer should be. Somebody that actually does make an impact, that makes a difference, that influences people to maybe be better or give people a chance.
Yeah.
I don't like saying things like that and patting myself on the back too much, but it's okay because we need to do that sometimes.
Yeah, and you are doing good things, so
you too
have to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. So I want to know, man, your big thing, I know what you're most passionate about is helping people get into recovery.
Yeah.
But that has got to be one of the hardest things to do compared to just running up and handing someone $100 and walking away.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a balance there, right? You can't make every video you do getting somebody into recovery going through that process.
Yeah.
There's other things you do, being a good boss.
Mm-hmm.
I see the ones where you drop some money behind somewhere and people show up, other little things. But the main thing, all of that feeds your channel and what you do and helps you help more people and get people into recovery when you find them and they are ready.
That's right.
Now, that's a lot of work. What does it feel like?
Well, to be truthful, it's heartwarming, it's overwhelming, and it motivates me. Like, it's so much work, but seeing the outcome of what I'm doing, it motivates me like crazy. It's my new high.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. I have an addictive personality, and this is my new high.
I felt high last night when I got back after we had a great night, met some people that want to get off the streets, and I'm so excited, I'm pumped, and but there's still that anticipation that they call. What if they don't? And that's a lot to take in. And I go through that myself with certain things, but this is something for you. You're shooting a lot of shots, right?
Yeah, of course.
And there's a lot of times where it doesn't come through. People don't call. How do you keep going when people don't call?
So in the beginning, it was tough. It kind of hurt me when they didn't call. But then as I kept on doing this, I realized that sometimes people, they're not going to call right away, but they will call someday, most likely. Mm-hmm. It may not be tomorrow. It may be in 2 years. As long as you plant the seed, they know who you are. They know who to contact. And with me, it's pretty simple. My landscaping company is VCO Landscaping. Anyone can Google it and call me.
Yeah.
So it's so simple. Like Ryan, for example, when he relapsed, he had my VCO Landscaping in his head, and he was going to call me. That's what he told me. So, yeah.
There's a way people can get a hold of you no matter what.
Yeah, and everyone I come across, I know that they're not going to come with me right away. So it's probably like one person every 3 months, maybe.
I'm sure that you would like it to be a lot more, right? But there's only so many people that are ready. There's a balance there, right? You want to do more, you want to help more people, but you can't just make people get into recovery.
No, you definitely can't.
Yeah,
force them.
That's got to be tough. And the aftercare along with that. So your success stories, right? The people that you have helped. Mm-hmm. How many of them are still doing well?
I don't have the exact number right now, but if I had to say, I've helped over maybe 60 people.
Okay.
Ever since I've been doing this.
60 into recovery?
Yeah, but all 60 were not on the streets.
Okay.
Some of them had a home and they just wanted to get clean and sober. If I had to say, I would probably say 40 of them are doing good today.
Okay. So you get scholarships for a program, and the scholarship is for a program, for a recovery program. It's not for school. You say scholarship, sometimes people might think that.
Yeah.
Um, and you use almost everything that they offer, I take it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, you can go to a state funded facility, but I don't want to say they don't care as much there, but there's so much, there's so much volume of people coming in and
Mhm.
out. You get better care at a private pay facility, in my opinion.
What would that facility cost without the scholarship? Do you
Well,
know?
it's 60,000 for 30 days.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow. So each one of these people is getting a $60,000,
basically, yeah.
treatment or
Yep.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, actually, I would say 45 days, not 30. About 60,000 for 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, that's still
Yeah, it's still a
tremendous.
lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. That's gotta be a lot better than something that would be state funded or through insurance.
Yeah.
Because all those things get limited so fast,
That's right. Yeah.
depending on what insurance they have, or if programs end or
Yep.
governments change how they fund things, people can get left behind in the process. But with this, as long as you're committed and they are as well, I mean, it is a two-way street, right? They got to do the
course.
work, and they will see the outcome that they want.
Yeah.
You still have, like, I would imagine everybody you've worked with has become somewhat of a friend, right?
Yeah.
You still
every
talk to
single
most of
person.
them.
Yeah. You know, we don't talk every day, but you know, I still communicate as much as I can. I'm only one person, you know, I can only talk to so many people in one day. I
Yeah.
probably take about 150 phone calls a day between my business, friends, people I've helped,
Yeah.
and that's a lot. You know, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know if I could do 150 calls a day myself.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so I have a thing where if I'm helping people, I'm out there and I'm doing my thing, I don't answer my phone
Yeah.
because, like, they are the most important thing
Yeah.
at that moment. I want them to have all of my attention. I
Mhm.
want them to feel like, that they are important. They deserve it.
Yeah.
And if I'm on my phone the entire time, I feel like that's takes away from that.
Yeah. I
Funny
agree.
thing is, though, if it's you and me, we would both understand. So
Yeah.
I'd answer my phone in front of you,
Yeah.
but not a homeless person. I'm
Correct.
helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been at this now how long?
I want to say over 3 years
Over 3 years since you started the channel, or since you've been helping people get in recovery?
since I've been helping people get in recovery.
Okay.
I started the channel, I think, right when COVID happened.
As
What was that?
just like making videos, being a good boss,
Yeah.
taking care of your
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, just giving my guys raises on video and
Yeah,
buying them coffee, taking them out to dinner.
that's cool.
That's how it started. Yeah.
What, like, it started, I'm almost answering all the questions here because I mean, we know each other and I've watched a lot of the videos, but it seems like it started with those.
Yeah.
Then it worked into you maybe offering people out, holding a sign or whatever, a job,
Yeah.
giving them your number. And then did it get to the point where some of them would call or it would start, but then there would be the elephant in the room, so to speak,
Yeah.
the addiction that's
Mhm.
holding them back from doing anything, something that you've had experience with in the past.
Yeah.
And then you figured, I got to help people get in recovery. Before you had the sponsorship, how did you go about it?
So the very first person that took me up on my offer, he admitted that he was getting high, and the video went so viral that I had people reaching out, and he had his own insurance. So we started off with a state-funded detox for him, and then once he was in the detox for 7-8 days,
Mhm.
people were reaching out to me, and then Roofers in Recovery reached out, and they wanted to offer him a scholarship.
Okay.
So once he got out, I told him about the opportunity, and I said, just like I said to these guys last night, I said, Kevin, if you take this opportunity, I will fly with you down to Texas, walk you through the doors, and basically pick you up after. And he's like, all right, let's do it. So because of that, like, guarantee that I gave him, he did it.
I think everybody remembers Kevin.
Yeah.
Like, there was so much going on. That was a lot of viral videos
Yeah.
along with him. He was the first one?
He was the first one, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I thought he might have just been the first viral one.
No, he was the first one that actually took me up in my offer.
Okay.
There was a few before him. One guy that ended up cleaning his own act up and started his own business. So, because of, my little push, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's like, I mean, it doesn't take a lot. I think
No.
people out there, people that are listening, they need to remember that, like, just giving someone the time of day,
That's right.
talking
Yep.
to them, asking them their name, how
Yeah.
did they get to where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
and then just saying hi and being kind.
That's it. That's all it takes.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything.
No, it does not.
You know, I mean, it doesn't even have to cost a minute of your time.
Yeah.
Just a smile
I
makes a
know.
difference.
That's right.
Pass someone smiling. You don't have to look away.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Kevin, now everyone's always asking about him.
Yeah.
And I think he's still kind of just doing his own thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there needs to be update videos all the time. People at some point got to go on and live their own lives.
That's right. Yeah.
And I know he has his own channel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he and I are friends on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything for a while, but I'm sure he's doing well. I think he posts stuff with his daughter. And stuff
Yeah.
like
He's
that.
always with his daughter, which is great. You know,
Yeah.
He has her back in his life. He's not on the streets.
Yeah.
You know, I can't go see him every week and give him a drug test. You know, that's not my job title. He's
No.
a big boy now, you know?
That's another aspect to what you're doing is that, you know, at some point people have to be self-sufficient.
That's
They have
right,
to be
yeah.
on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And how hard is it to let go when that comes?
It is hard. But I guess after doing it for so long, I figure out how to do it.
In the beginning, that moment of letting go and moving on yourself, if somebody wasn't doing what they should be doing, you know, I assume that was really hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Has it gotten easier?
Yeah,
A little bit?
I would say so.
It's
yeah.
still not easy.
No, it's still not easy, but I guess I just have a routine now and it all works out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I mean, how many, I know you would love to do more and help more people, right?
Yeah.
But you would need a team to do
Correct. Yeah.
that. Do you have any goals of doing anything like that?
Yeah. So my goal is the app that I'm going to be developing soon.
All right.
There's going to be teams everywhere across the whole US at first.
Okay.
And there's going to be just a lot of helping going on and good things going on. So my goal is to get this app started. I'd say about 4 months from now, it'll be ready. I'll be testing it out myself with, you know, some close friends that I know, maybe someone that's sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works. And then that's kind of how I want to put my team together. So that's my goal.
And then as a team, using the resources available that would be, you know, accessible through this application, people can help people all throughout the country.
That's right. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And it's going to be very simple for someone to help, even without money. You know, if someone can offer a resource, you know, post it on the app or something, it's going to be very simple for everyone. So
It's amazing that there isn't something like that out there already.
Yeah.
Or honestly, many of them.
correct.
You know, you look at a streaming app like Netflix or whatever,
I
there's
know.
tons of them. You know, now
Yeah.
everybody's got tons of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day, you know, competition's a good thing. Maybe one day there will be a plethora of
Yeah.
those available for people, and they can, you know, everybody could get off the streets if they're ready and they want to.
Yeah.
Homelessness is growing at a rate that, you know, guys like you and I just can't keep up with. You know, no matter how much impact we make,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like we never scratch the surface.
Yeah.
Does that ever get to you?
Yeah, definitely. I always think every day, like, what can I do to prevent it? But then I also think there's homeless people that they're happy where they're at. There's no changing them. There's no getting them off the streets. So, but like, why not have a spot for them where they can do stuff? I mean, I know there's stuff out there. There's, you know, there's shelters, there's communities, but like, why not build? There's so much land in this world. Build a spot for homeless people and give them tasks. And if they don't do these simple tasks, then I don't want to say kick them out, but maybe put them in a different section.
Yeah.
You know, classify them, graduate them, bring them back into society, you know, and
I thought of something similar to that when it was what I thought of was kind of like an urban campsite, right?
Yeah.
Or everyone has campgrounds in the country somewhere where they go camping. Well, why not have one in an urban setting where people could set up a tent, still pay rent? They still
Yeah.
got to pay the rent, but it would be very, very low.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's many ways that people could pay that.
yeah.
Legal ways.
Yeah.
But many ways they could pay that, and they could have stages where it goes from a tent to a camper to a car to even a tiny home,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. And on site, you'd have laundry, you'd have mail, you'd have food, and it'd be a safe place for everyone to go. But the problem also is and it's what you're dealing with is addiction, right? Not you personally, but
Yeah.
the people you help. The addictions are gonna like they're going to bring things in that could be a danger to other people. There could be overdoses. You know, you might have to be running around Narcanning people left and right. It's so hard to regulate that without some rules.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the shelters and other services out there have. And a lot of these people that don't want to use those
Yeah.
don't want the rules. And unfortunately, when it comes to rules, even if they want to live inside anywhere, at least an apartment, even a hotel, there's rules.
Yeah, of course.
So what is I mean, the app sounds like a really cool thing, man. That's something that I know you've mentioned before we got on the show and you're really excited about.
Yeah.
That's going to be really, really cool. What else is in the works for you?
I mean, at this point, nothing really. Just I want to continue doing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to stop. I don't want to, you know, if I change something, just a minor change.
Yeah.
But I love doing like the certain things that I do.
Why do you do things differently than so many other creators do?
I just do things from the heart, real. I don't like to fake anything, stage anything. I just like to be organic and natural.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like making something up or, you know, planning something. I like it all to be natural. That's the way I do stuff. It's just my thing. It's what I've always done, and I'll never change it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man, is I feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and even us, like the one thing we have in common is that we're authentic.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, we have our own ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can take inspiration from other people, but I'm always going to do it my own way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are people out there that are just literal copycats. They just see somebody else do something, goes viral. Okay, I'm going to do this 10x.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 10 of them all the time. And it's low barrier, low effort, just doesn't take much, but it does go viral.
Yeah.
When you see guys doing like that, does it ever kind of tempt you to maybe, you know, make videos that are similar to theirs?
It you know, definitely comes across my mind. But then I think, why am I going to do this? This is not me. Why am I going to do this? Because it's working for them. It's getting them viral. I don't care if I'm viral or not.
Yeah.
Obviously, a viral video is great. If I make money off of it, I can help other people. But I don't, you know, I don't go out there and just seek a viral video.
You don't chase virality.
No.
Yeah.
However it happens, it happens. I mean, if you see my stuff, not all my videos, you know, do the greatest, but I keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit there and stop and say, oh, I didn't get a viral video.
Yeah.
I just keep going because this is me. This is what I do.
It's funny because I feel like I'm listening to my self-talk right now. You know, I feel the exact same way. And I'm not going to lie. There's times I see people do things that are like, this seems so easy because there's no aftercare. There's nothing, no follow-up. There's no relationship built, you know, and I sometimes when it gets difficult, you're like, man, I wish I would just do that sometimes.
I know.
You know, but you can't because it's not in us. It's not who we are.
Yeah, people don't understand what we go through, you know, from the beginning all the way to the end and like current, you know, like what we're still doing for people.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
What's one of the most difficult things you've experienced doing this?
When someone relapses and they still want to get clean again, going through that all over again. It's just, you know, you start from 0, you get to 5, and then all of a sudden you're back to 0. So you're starting all over again. And it hurts, you know, when someone relapses, it hurts.
Do you find it difficult to make content around things like that?
Not really.
No.
I feel like people need to see that, you know, when someone relapses, they need to see what's going on. Because it's life, you know.
It's real.
Yeah, it's definitely real.
Do any of the people that you ever have in your videos at some point want you to stop making videos about it because they don't get the outcome they were planning to get? You know, they aren't happy with what happened.
I mean, I would say they don't really say it, but if we just kind of, you know, push apart from each other, that's kind of, you know, it's obvious. You know, if they don't want to be in videos, if we kind of just drift apart. But no one, I don't think anyone has really said, don't put any more videos up of me.
Have you ever had anyone ask to remove any of the videos you've done with them?
Yeah. But not someone that I've helped.
Okay.
Someone just on the streets, me giving them food, offering them a job. Because I give my number out to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a lot of spam calls. And I
Yeah.
do tell people when I give my number out, send me a text if I don't answer, call me again, leave a voicemail. And there's been a few times where someone tried calling me and never got through to me, and totally like thought I was a piece of shit. So I seen him, or he called me one day, and he's like, "Oh, you never gave me a job. You're not real. This and that. Take my video down." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. Let's work this out. You're here now talking to me. Let me try and find you a job." And he was just so nasty.
Mm.
And then I later found out that he was the neighborhood drug dealer for everyone. He's just a no good person. And yeah, so I ended up taking his video down just because I didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens.
Oh yeah,
You
I've
can't
had it
please
happen
everyone.
too. That's
Yeah.
why I asked, because
Yeah.
it's happened to me.
That's right.
And it's frustrating because it's like you feel accountable.
Mhm.
You do these things for people. People expect an outcome.
That's
Our
right.
viewers, right?
Yep.
And you want to give that to them, and it's not always the outcome that everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, like myself, I had a GoFundMe for a couple at one point, and I still feel like the outcome overall was good.
Yeah.
Because their baby was still in their life. Recently, the guy in the relationship, Jared, was been on the podcast and shared his side of the story. But
Yeah.
his girlfriend at the time, I don't think she was really happy with how things, all fell into place and
Yeah.
some of the decisions that they made. And she asked me to remove all their videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it put me in a tough spot because then people started reporting my GoFundMe as fraud
Oh wow.
because they didn't see the outcome.
Yeah.
And here I am respecting their wishes and
Yeah.
taking it off. And I don't technically have to do that, but it's
Yeah.
what they asked.
Yeah. You have
I
respect.
respected it.
Yeah.
It did affect my channel a little bit. And then I had to go and prove where all the money went with GoFundMe. And
Yep.
it's funny because as I pull up all the receipts from everything, I had like, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000 over whatever we raised that I spent.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, I mean, they turned it right back on. It was not even
Good.
not a holdup. But those are things that aren't fun.
No, not at all.
It's not cool to deal with that.
No, definitely not.
People don't see that side of it.
Yeah.
And those are the times where sometimes I wish I just would have handed them the money and walked away, like all those other guys do.
That's right.
And walk right up, give them that $100,000. We changed your life.
Yeah.
And then
It's a temporary fix.
yeah.
You don't know what they're gonna do with that money. What if they're using drugs? What if you kill them?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's different with what we do.
Exactly. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
It's that aftercare, it's that follow-up. And if
right.
there's an issue there, if somebody got into a tough spot, you have to get to the root cause of how
Yeah.
and figure out how to address that problem.
Mhm.
And there are many different causes, and sometimes it really is just bad luck.
Yeah. That's right.
And those are the easiest ones to help because it's quick.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. Oh, you just really did have bad luck. Things all fell apart at once. All right, let's build them back up together.
Yeah.
But it's not as easy as it sounds.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, you, just like I, keep going no matter what happens.
Yeah. Never stop. Just be you and just keep going.
It's that natural high, right?
Yeah, I love it. I really do.
Yeah.
I stressed out every day, but I don't really show it. Right now I may look tired just because I'm on East Coast time.
Yeah.
And I got no sleep.
Yeah, I mean, we had a late night out there,
Yeah.
dude. We're
It was worth it.
helping people until after 9 o'clock, something like
I
that.
think I got back at like 10:40.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking that we should do on this podcast is
What's that?
call Theyre.
You want to do it?
Yeah, it's up to you.
So right now,
we'll
right
call.
now we're gonna call the guy that we helped last night. We're gonna see what happens.
Let's do it.
This is going to be really cool. So I'm gonna give a little background while he is calling Theyre. Theyre is the one that we ran into last night. That is ready to change his life, fed up with being on the streets, and does not want to have his birthday that is next week
That's right.
in the same situation he's in, battling addiction, living on the streets. And I had a phone in my car. I gave it to him so that we could get a hold of him today. Because if he is ready and fully committed, then Victor here is going to put him through a program with a full scholarship in Florida. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize is Victor has to, it throws a complete wrench into all of his planning on, with his family and with his business and getting home when he had planned. But that's the thing. When you commit to something like this and you offer somebody this offer, you are just as committed as they are. And as long as they're willing to do the work, you have to be fully committed in that moment, that time, and go for it. And that's where we're at right now, kind of not knowing exactly how this day is going to go, depending on this phone call.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do it?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to call Tay. Tay.
Here it goes. I hope he answers.
Tay, homeless man. That's how I put everyone in my phone.
I put Streets.
Yeah.
That's their last name.
It's tough.
It is.
1 hour goes by, it changes what they're thinking.
It is ringing, though. So
yeah, that's true.
It's not dead.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Mm-hmm. I did tell him he has to tell me by 10.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
See, that's...
Please try your call again.
It sucks. I get like a deep feeling in my heart, when I hear that voicemail. But you know what? We just got to wait.
No, we'll wait.
Yeah.
Keep trying. And I would never just go, all right, didn't answer. Let's go about our day
later.
Exactly.
And even if not, if something came up and he lost the phone, like they always do, there's always another day.
Yeah.
I can come back next week and pick him up as long as I plan it right.
Well, and no matter what happens, even if, say, he changed his mind and he doesn't want to go right now, I'm going to make sure that I link him up with local services and let him know that they're ready whenever he is. And I can even let them know to go checking on this guy. He was really close.
Yeah.
And, be that like Rob says, chop the wood and just keep chopping wood, keep going out, keep touching base and seeing where he's at and what's going on.
That's right.
Not everybody's ready.
No, they're not. They think they are, but they're really not.
And you can't make people be ready.
No, definitely can't.
With that being said, I know how frustrating it can be when somebody's not and you want them to be.
Yeah.
You see the potential, but there's an inner turmoil that I myself have, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
When somebody doesn't answer that phone call and you're like, man, this guy has tons of potential. This is a perfect opportunity for them.
I know.
Take it.
I know. You just want to grab them and shake them and say, let's go.
Yeah, but you can't.
No. In Mexico, I think they're doing something like that. There's like an actual like group that they go around and they literally kidnap people and get them clean.
No way.
Yeah. I forget the name of the page, but this guy's got millions of followers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I wish I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could grab people and just force them in. I know it sucks. I don't want to say I was forced into prison. I made the decision to go to prison. I made the...
You turned yourself in? Or you did the things, you made the choices.
Yeah, I made the choices.
Yeah.
I paid the... what do they say? You do the crime, you pay the time?
Yeah. You do the crime, do the time or whatever. Yeah.
So I did that. So, I was kind of thrown into prison. I couldn't leave. I detoxed in prison. It sucked, but look at me now. I'm doing great, helping people. I'm successful.
A lot of people that I've talked with in recovery found, getting clean, getting sober, and what they truly, their mission, their path in life.
Yeah.
By going to prison. Mm-hmm. And everybody looks at that as like the worst thing that could ever happen.
I know.
And you yourself and others now look back and like that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Best thing.
Yeah.
Hands down, best thing. Well, my kids were the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah. No, but
the first thing was me going to prison.
At the same time, if you would have had kids without doing that, you wouldn't be the dad you are today.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, it might have been one of the best things.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
And here you are trying to do it for people without them going to prison, giving them that option.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I had the option to help someone move out of their home that I helped them get into and become homeless again because of decisions that he had made or the lack thereof, and just not doing anything, not taking action.
Yeah.
Before he got evicted. and had to have the police involved. So it's like, if the police got involved, would something better have came from that?
Yeah, who knows?
It's hard
You
to
know?
say.
Yeah, it is hard to say.
You don't know. You always want to make things easier. You
Yeah.
don't want it to be harder on people. But I often second guess some of my decisions.
Mhm.
And do you do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you just know that like it works out how it's supposed
Yeah.
to.
Whatever decision you make, it definitely works out.
Yeah, you got to be able to sleep with yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you feel good at night? You sleep well?
I do. Yeah.
Do you has all of this made you appreciate the things you have more?
Oh my God, yeah. So much more. Like just yesterday when they were talking about in the tunnels, and then just like watching them, like they're content, they're happy, they're comfortable where they are, and they're homeless. But then I think about it, there's no bills, they have no bills to worry about, they don't have to listen to anyone, they don't have to work. So it's like,
I've said this before. There are times where I almost envy them,
yeah,
just because it's almost like the highest amount of freedom,
correct.
right? It is exactly what it sounds like,
Yeah.
but it's not,
No,
because there's
definitely
still
not.
every moment is survival. Anything can be taken from you. You don't own anything you have. You think you do, but you're on land that you don't own.
That's right.
Therefore, it can be gone in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's not an easy job doing it this way.
No.
Do you ever think about moving away from social media and doing this without the videos?
So I think if I ever were to become more successful, and I made more money, because social media does help me, brings in money for me to do this more. Let's just say I became a millionaire.
Yeah.
I think I would definitely do less videos because I can help more people and focus on them, because I do all the editing, I do all the content. It's a lot. So,
Yeah.
to answer your question, yeah, if it ever worked out like that, then yeah, I think I would still make videos or maybe hire a videographer, but it takes a lot out of me doing what I do, and I can't give them my all because I own a business. So that's the other thing. If I could get rid of my business back home, if I could do this full time, then things would be different.
And what stops you from getting somebody else to manage your business and letting you do this full time?
It's hard for me to let go. I started my business by myself, with a $700 pickup truck. I worked by myself. That's the thing that no one knows about me.
Yeah.
I didn't get everything handed down to me. I didn't get a ton of money. I started everything on my own. And I built my business to where it is now, which is pretty successful.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to let someone else in to manage things. I have a great foreman, two great foremen, that run the crews, but I still deal with the customers. I just have that, I don't know how you want to call it, but like I can deal with customers. I make them very happy. I have great ratings, and I go above and beyond. Just like how when I help people, I give them my all. I give my customers my all. I give my employees my all.
But
yeah.
you are only one guy.
Yeah,
And at some point you get spread thin.
definitely.
There's another guy that was last night that we helped out that said he wanted to, go to treatment. And his name was Jacob.
Yeah.
Just lost a family member, his mother.
Yeah, that's
And
sad.
I think he's a little bit more on the fence about it. Can't really process everything going on in his head just yet. But he seemed like he wanted it. But that's the tough part. You see people that want it, they're not 100% ready, and they're kind of on the fence. And those are the ones you want to grab and shake and just throw on the plane. Let's go.
Jacob kind of reminds me of Ryan. It sucks.
Couple real quick questions.
Yeah.
You have any questions for me, dude?
No.
None. No,
honestly, no. I mean, I know who you are, and I know the kind of person you are. I've met up with other influencers and people that do what we do, and I'm thankful that you're real. You're a great dude. You're my friend, and I know what you do.
Yeah. I feel the same way, man. It's really nice to have somebody else that like is in the space that
Yeah.
I can count on, I can talk to.
That's right.
And I know that we can work together. I'm really picky about that stuff.
Yeah.
Not in this just to get, go viral and get
No.
views. And I wouldn't risk that working with somebody that's in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last question, because I know we don't have a lot of time left, man. I think I know the answer to it, though. Hug or a handshake, dude?
I want a hug.
I knew it. I knew it. Bring it in, man. Thanks for coming on. I know it's tight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I hope he calls, man.
Yeah, me too.